Meet lovely Lulu, a 1920s inspired sweet wee Valentine. Welcome to All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. It's the Can't Sleep Creations Be My Valentine collab, hosted by my buddies Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling, Jody of Jody at Southern Seasons, and me. Hi. We're joined by many of our talented friends who have plenty of fabulous projects to share. You'll find links to their channels as well as the playlist in the description box. Right. Let's get into it. We'll need 2 1.9 foam balls, got mine at the Dollar Tree, and I've cut a flat spot on one of them. Took about, half an inch off. I'm using a 1.5 inch wood cube for her base. I found this in my stash. You can see it's already painted. I guess I did it last year before, not sure. You can just use, one of the blocks from the Dollar Tree, that'll work. Or even if you have a kid's building block, that would be cute too. We're going to need some Model Magic or the clay of your choice. We'll also need some toothpicks to get us started. Right, so we're going to grab a handful of clay and we're going to knead it. This is to condition it to make it pliable, and I do believe that this keeps it from cracking too. So we really want to work on it for a few minutes. And then we're going to roll it nice and flat. I'll cover the full bowl with it first. This is going to be lovely Lulu's head. I apologize for my voice, it's going in and out. I have a cold. I thought I beat it, but no, it's hanging in there. Anyway, I'm going to press it nice and firm and cut off any excess. I want to make sure that the clay is making good contact with the foam. You feel me? And I like to roll it around on the table as I go to help smooth it out. And now what I'm going to do is take some more of that clay and fill in any bare spots, any gaps. Once it's fully covered, I'll roll it on the table again to smooth it out until I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to set it aside. Next, I'll cover the round end of the half ball first, leaving the flat spot bare for the moment. And again, I'm just pressing really firmly, and I'm going to pull off any excess, cut it off, pull it off, whatever works. And again, you can see I'm kind of rolling it a wee bit there. I'm also going to fill in the gaps here on this side. I use a fondant cutter to make a circle from some flattened clay. This is going to cover the bottom part of the half ball. That's going to be Lulu's skirt. So we're just going to push that right on there and mesh it with the rest of the clay. And then once that's done, we'll set this aside. To create the bodice of her dress, I'm going to roll a small ball of clay and I'm going to flatten the bottom of it, make it kind of gumdrop shape. So we're going to place that right on top center of the half ball. I'm going to use my palms and my fingers to make sure that it's well stuck and try not to jack up the shape too much. You know what I'm saying? I use the handle of my brush to roll over the seams to incorporate it with the other clay. Well, actually, this is a clay tool, but same thing. Right, so now we're going to push a toothpick through the center top, and we're going to go about halfway down. We want a good bit of it to stick out because we're going to push her head on top of the toothpick. So we're just going to slide that right into place. See? There we go. To make our arms, we're going to roll out a log of clay, on the thinner side, not super thin. And we want the ends to be rounded, which kind of happens naturally as you move your hand back and forth across the clay as you roll. You feel me? We want those ends rounded because that's the part that's going to actually be her hands. And now we're going to cut these to size. That's a little long, so let's chop some off. And then we can cut the other one to size. Okay, that'll work. And we're going to set those aside for a mo. We're going to roll and cut another clay ball in half to make her puffy sleeves. But before we attach them, we're going to roll another ball into a marshmallow shape. See, like a small squatty marshmallow. This is going to be her pudgy wee legs. So we're going to push a toothpick into the bottom of her skirt, the flat part there. And then we're going to push the marshmallow onto the toothpick. We just want to make sure that it's centered on that toothpick. And this clay sticks to itself well. Once it's pressed on there, it's not going anywhere. I'm going to impress a line down the center of her legs to define them with this wee tool here. And I'm sure to do the back as well. Now we're going to roll 2 small balls to make her shoes. Actually, what I did was roll the ball, cut it in half, and then roll those both halves into balls. So you see them there. Now what we're going to do is kind of pinch them into a teardrop shape. And I'm going to flatten them out just a wee bit. And now we're going to push those into place right on the ends of her pudgy wee legs. And I'm going to fuss with them just a wee bit, make sure that they're even and whatnot. Right, now we'll add her arms. They're going to stick straight out in front of her because she's going to be holding a heart. So I'm just going to press them right into place. And just like always, I'll roll over the seam to incorporate it. Yep, that'll do. Let's add our puffs right up here at the top of her arms, and we're going to incorporate them. Get the other one on there. Once we get those incorporated, we can set her aside to dry overnight. Lulu has had a good night's rest, and she's ready to paint. We'll give her head, arms, and her pudgy wee legs 2 coats of Ceramcoat Tawny. Generally speaking, I like to start in the crooks, in the nooks. So you can see I'm starting like right where her head meets her body. I just find it easier to do that way. So tell me, how are all you guys doing? I hope everybody's keeping well with all this crazy weather and the terrible fires and floods. Awful. I'm keeping everybody in my thoughts and prayers. We've been really lucky. It's been cold and we've had a wee bit of snow, a couple inches here and there, but we're really fortunate and I'm grateful. Just know I'm sending you all love. Now I'm going to use my detail brush to get into this wee area where her pudgy wee legs are, because this is really a very small area. Her dress and shoes are going to get 2 coats of Ceramcoat charcoal. Once again, I pulled out that detail brush to get into that little area where her legs meet her shoes. Once I get it outlined, I'll come back in with a flat brush and fill it in. Let's add some white checks to her dress. I'm just going to wing it here, try to line up the corners as best I can. You know me, I don't stress too much about this stuff. I like the hand-painted look, so I don't mind if it's not perfect. If it's a little wonky, I kind of dig that. But you can always use a stencil or stickers, or leave it plain if you want. I was considering polka dots, but then I thought, nah, let's do checks. Polka dots would have been easier though. Anyway, I'm going to cover front and back of her dress with the checks. I'm going to give her puffs 3 stripes. And while we have the white on the go, we'll dot in her eyes. I'm using a dowel to do this, just dipping them right on. With my smallest detail brush, my 000, I am going to outline her hair. She's going to get a wee curly Q right there in the front of her forehead and little spit curls on the side. You know, like a classic 1920s bob. I'm outlining around the back too, otherwise her hairline in the back would be a mess. You feel me? Now I'm going to take a flat brush and fill in the area with 2 coats of charcoal. And I start by filling in the area right along the outline. Again, for me, that's just easier. With a tiny scrubby brush, I dry brush her cheeks. I'm using Americana Terra Coral. I'm offloading most of the paint onto a paper towel. I just want a hint of the paint on my brush, and I'm using a circular motion to apply it. I like to start out light, and then I'll add layers until I'm happy with the color. Now we'll dot in her pupils with charcoal. I'm using a smaller brush handle for this. Her irises will be a crescent swoop of Ceramcoat Spring Green. You want to make sure that the pupils are completely dry before you do this, otherwise it'll smear the paint. Cannot tell you how many times I've done that. Okay, we'll do the other one. So it's like a backwards C, really. Let's outline her eyes. Again, I'm using my 000 detail brush and charcoal, keeping the line as fine as I can. Now, if you're not comfortable outlining, so fine like this, what you can do, and I should have done had I thought of it first, is dotted on a charcoal dot, then did a smaller white dot in the center so that the charcoal dot outlined the white dot. You know what I'm saying? And then I could have went in with the pupils and the irises. Her lashes will go all the way around her eyes for that Betty Boop look. I'm doing my best to try to keep them uniform in size and spacing. Not too bad. And of course she needs some arched eyebrows. I dipped the paintbrush handle into raw sienna, and I'm just going to pull it right across between her eyes there to create her nose. It's that simple. Using that same method, except this time we're going vertically with watermelon to create her mouth. See? Cute, right? And easy. While she's drying, we'll work on the block. I'm adding a Hippo Gray drop shadow to the 14 and the hearts. I keep the line on the edge of the left of the number, and I keep it as fine as I can. Same thing for the hearts. You know what? Let's outline the square too, right around the white part. This helps to pull it all together and make it more cohesive. I chose Hippo Gray here instead of outlining in charcoal because I wanted something a little softer. I thought the charcoal might be a little too harsh. I wanted to pull some red into her dress, so I'm dotting the corners of the checks, just little dip dots. And again, I do this all the way around the dress. I apply a coat of DecoArt multi-purpose sealer with a cosmetic sponge to her and to the block, and I just pounce it on. This will protect it and give it a nice finish. I'll embellish the top of the block with a scrap piece of leftover Christmas garland. I'm just going to go right around the edge, and I'm going to use hot glue for this. We'll attach Lulu to the block with both some fabric glue and a wee dot of hot glue for that quick grab. To create her hat, I have here a 1-inch strip of scrapbook paper. It says, "Be My Valentine," and other Valentine sentiments. I'm just going to make a ring with it so that it sits right on her head, and I'm going to hot glue the ends together. To jazz it up a wee bit and to pull in some of that red, I'm going to cut a couple of beads off a Dollar Tree heart necklace and glue them right up the center of her wee hat. I think this gives it a touch of that roaring 20s party aesthetic. You know what I mean? And for the final touch, I grabbed a glitter heart from Dollar Tree table scatter, and with fabric glue, I'll attach it to her outstretched hands. And our lovely Lulu is ready for Valentine's Day. Here's a final look. I think she turned out pretty cute. What do you guys think? I wanted to keep her as simple and easy as possible so that anybody could make her. Let me know if you give her a try and if you put your own spin on it. Please be sure to check out Dawn and Jody's channels as well as the playlist. You'll find links in the description box for both, along with a list of my supplies. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.